Hello. Happy Wednesday, my friends. Welcome to the end of the first quarter of 2024. The end of the first quarter. How did we get here? How did we get here? How did time fly in the way that it has flown? I have absolutely no idea, but we're going to talk a little bit about it. I am not using StreamYard today. I'm using YouTube, and there's a feature. I haven't live streamed on YouTube in a long time. But there is a feature that says engage with your audience and start a Q&A. What happens if I start a Q&A? I clicked a button. Did you guys see something change when I clicked a button? Ask me anything. Now it's telling me to type things. What happens if oh, here we go. What has changed? Has anything changed? Today's the day of messing around with technology just to see what the heck happens. So now I can go to live chat and I can see everything. And then in theory, I can also go see your questions. So let's play with that feature today, shall we? Go ahead and ask me some questions because I'm dying to know how this works. I just saw it like 3 minutes ago. I was like, what does this button do? We'll have to find out. But first, hello, my friends. It is so good to see you. Thank you so much for being here this evening. It has been a long week and an anxiety provoking week, but we are here and I am so very glad that we are here. I'm trying to scroll up, but I don't know if I can't. Well, I can't see everybody's comments now. I don't think. Um, or maybe I just can't see the very top. But hello, my friends. Let's see who's here. Andy's here. Michelle's here. Kathy and Lissa. And I don't think clicking on it does anything. No, I can pin it, but I can't share it like I do on StreamYard. So you're just going to have to bear with me for that this evening. Andy and Michelle and Lauren, hello, my friends. I am so glad that you're here. How much is too much water? That is a great question. That is very individualized to your body. So, people of different sizes, people of different athletic abilities, people of different electrolyte and sodium levels, like all of these things play a part in hydration. All of them. So, I can't give you a definitive, this is too much water. Okay. I can't do that. And now we're talking about water. I made myself some tea tonight. I have been talking so much these last couple of days, and I have also been singing to myself, not like in a very like awesomely talented way, not like belting out in my office, but here's something I have learned. But first I'm going to take a sip of tea. Tonight we're going to play the game of every time I drink, you drink, my friends, because your girl is thirsty and dehydrated and her throat hurts. So so good. So good. Fun fact, I buy the traditional medicinals weightless tea, which is a tea that was part of my weekly weigh-in routine back in the day. And now I buy it because I actually just kind of like how it tastes. I'm so used to the flavor that it's just like when I don't want throat coat, when I don't want, a specific flavored tea, when I just need a little something, I'll either do like peppermint tea or I will do this because I actually enjoy the cranberry flavor of this tea. Yeah, mine was feeling a little bit off this evening as well, but I think it's just because I've been doing so much talking. I had a webinar yesterday, I had a webinar today, and then I had a coaching call today, and now we're here. And I led a healthy meeting this morning. It has been a long day on my poor little voice. Um, but we're here and I am so excited we're here. So before we get started with our conversation, has anybody put anything in the Q&A yet? Because if you have, it hasn't told me. No, nobody has. If anybody has, someone put something in there so I can see what it does. Put something in there. Ask me anything, literally whatever you want. I feel like I haven't seen you in forever. I know you've seen me. This is the third time today I think you've seen me. Yes, it's crazy. But I would love to hear your highs and lows from the last week, my friend. What is your thing that you're celebrating, the highlight of your week? No celebration is too small. And then on the flip side, if you want to share with me your low, your less than stellar moment, your kind of blah moment from the week, I would love to hear about that as well. And then if you want to tack on a wellness win, a celebration, a win that you've gotten as it pertains to your wellness journey, would love to hear that as well. And then, of course, if you have something you are working on, I would love to hear about that as well. So, my friends, let's go ahead and get started with that. My high for the week so far has been, well, on Monday. On Monday, we went to our small group leader's house. Why? Not for small group. Oh no. Oh no. To watch the Taylor Swift Eras tour. Because the husband, the small group leader, whose age is, I think he's a couple years younger than my father, but like maybe 3 years. So he's like, they're my parents' age. And they're the adoptive parents of all of us in small group, right? He is a Swiftie. And one of the younger girls who's like 24 in our group is also a big Swiftie. So the two of them were going to watch it together. And so they invited the whole group. And so it wasn't the whole group. The ones with kids stayed home. But my husband and I went. And he was a good sport about it, and so it was a good time. It was fun, and it was just nice to get together, have a little pizza, a little dessert. I made these most amazing funfetti crinkle cookies, so good that they were requested again for Easter on Sunday. And yeah, so that was my high. I think it was a lot of fun, and it was a great way to kind of get out of the house and break up the low of the week, which is we have snow on the ground. It snowed 3 times in the last week, and not just like, here's a nice little dusting, but like, here's some snow. Here's 3, 4, 5 inches of snow each time. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. So that's my low. I'm not going to complain about it anymore because I feel like complaining about it is just bringing in the negative energy, and we don't need that because, quite frankly, it'll probably be gone by this time next week. So I'm not even going to worry about it. Not even going to worry about it. My wellness win, y'all, I still have buttercream frosting in the house. I made that like 4 weeks ago, and I've been eating a little bit. I've eaten it like 3 days in a row now, but it's just a little bit. My current food fixation, Rice Krispie treats, like store bought Rice Krispie treats, Rice Krispie brand Rice Krispie treats with buttercream frosting on top of it. Don't knock it until you try it. It's so good. It's so good. And I had no idea. I had no idea that it would just be so freaking tasty. And so now it's one of my favorite things to do. I just take some buttercream frosting, slap it on top of the Rice Krispie treat, and boom, I have a dessert, and it's fabulous. And so my wellness win is that there's still frosting in the house. I'm not just like sitting there eating piles and piles of it. It's just been slowly but surely getting used up. And I'm thrilled about that fact because I feel totally in control over this frosting, which is not something I would have been doing in the past. And then my working on it. I'm working on it. What am I working on? I don't know. I don't know what I'm working on. I could sit and think of a solid answer. My working on it is not specifically wellness related, but how about setting goals for Q2 and for April? Yeah, working on that, and I can prove that to you, y'all. This is how far I've gotten on my Q2 goals. I got pretty flags up here. Got pretty flags. I even have a gold one up there. So there's that, but that's as far as I've gotten. That's as far as I've gotten. And I also want to work on, and I'm open to suggestions for the spring fun list, y'all, the spring fun list, because I want to fill that in as well and get myself some nice things that are exciting and fun to do. Okay. Thank you, Mac, for doing testy test. Cool. Love that. I now understand it's coming up from the bottom. Thank you for that. Also, I've been thinking about you because I haven't seen you around this past week, and I had no way, no way to know how to get a hold of you. Let's see what's going on with everybody else. The only problem with letting go of StreamYard and doing just this is I can't like highlight. I don't have the comments highlighted. Hi, doing the dishes. I didn't think you were doing this tonight. I am. It is next week that it's going to be an afternoon live stream. Are you liking spring? We don't have spring yet. We have winter. But hopefully, spring will happen soon. I'm very, very hopeful and optimistic that spring will happen soon. How do you find out your macros? Oh, Susan, that is a loaded question. That is a loaded question because there are calculators, but calculators can only tell you so much, right? So there's a place to start, which is with one of those calculators that you can get in an app or something like that. But what you really need is somebody who knows and understands how to calculate macros. But here is your general guideline. I need y'all to go to, if you want to find out your macros, start at the website bmicalculator.net/BMR hyphen calculator. That is going to be one of the more accurate BMR calculators. And the formula that I used in this calculator and what I used in my macro coaching time was the Harris-Benedict equation. So you're going to pop in your information there. You're going to pop in the Harris-Benedict equation. You're going to hit go, and it is going to tell you your BMR as calculated by a machine. Obviously, it's not your body saying this is exactly my BMR. It's just a calculation based on a mathematical equation. Your biology could be a little bit different, so you can't take it as gospel, okay? And then with that number, you're going to not eat any less than that number ever again. Ever again, okay? Because that's the number of calories your body needs to function in a coma, meaning you're completely asleep and your body is still doing things to keep you alive. So that's what you need for your body to be in a coma. So always eat more than that. And then it will actually, I think the website gives you some guidelines. You can use some of those guidelines if you want. I can't get into all of the mathematical jargon because that could take up the entire time. But then you want to get a protein goal. I recommend, especially if you're looking for fat loss, try to get 100 grams protein, give or take. Try to get 100 grams protein. And do you know the macronutrient that nobody tracks that everybody should be tracking? It's not technically a macro, it's a subset of a macronutrient, but you need to track your fiber. If you want fat loss, my friends, eat 100 grams of protein a day to start. Get 35 grams of fiber a day. Drink at least 100 ounces of water a day. Walk. Move your body. If you do all four of those things, I can guarantee your weight's going to change. I can guarantee your weight is going to change if you do those four things. The difference between your small group and the ones I've been going to is mildly amusing. Our small group is like our family, man. It is our God chosen family, which is crazy. Because it was just all happenstance that we all ended up in the group together, but they are our family now, which is amazing. You match your cup and your contents. I try. My cup is very this cup, and I saw somebody else comment on the mug too. This mug was a gift from my husband's grandmother a handful of years ago, back when she was well enough where she and I could go off on our own adventures together when we were in Florida. And that sneaky old lady, she's a pistol, this one. She's something special. We went to the store. She liked to take me to this like fun, stationary, gifty type store. And one day we went there and this mug was at the store. And I picked it up and I looked at it. I was like, oh, it's very, very pretty. And she's like, well, let me buy it for you. And I was like, no, ma'am, you do not need to buy me things. Thank you very much. I'm just looking. And we left the store. That lady went, I swear to you, probably the next day. She went back to the store. She bought me the mug and she gave it to me for Christmas. That woman. So this is every time I drink out of this mug, I think of grandmother. Mm. The tea feels so good, y'all. The tea feels so good. Hi, I got new shoes and my feet aren't super sore after work. Yay! Oh, that's major. Yay! I think most of the pain is from my new orthotics that haven't molded to my feet yet. And there's a potential high, but it's too soon to say anything. Amazing. Amazing. What's a diabetic nightmare, Andy? When I cooked dinner tonight, soyaki chicken drumsticks, about 5 minutes of active time with mac and cheese and asparagus. That sounds really good. I had Emily Bites creamy chicken wild rice soup for dinner tonight, and it made me very, very happy. Working on. I went to a new WW like meeting and led by my first ever WW leader, and it inspired me to make some changes with my eating. I was AWOL because it was my birthday week. Happy birthday. Okay. I'm just like, do I need to be concerned? I can't get a hold of her. I just wanted everything to make sure everything's okay. I keep an eye on y'all. I do. I keep an eye on y'all and I notice when y'all go dark. I notice. Um, and Lissa has posted the BMI calculator. Thank you, Lissa. Hit the big 4-9 and it feels like a lot, kind of a mix of it all. Okay, the big 4-9. Um, Lauren, hi. I celebrated my niece's 9th birthday this weekend with her and family. Low, work has been stressful. Win, I'm doing well with IE and listening to my body's hunger and fullness cues. I love that. I'm sorry work is so stressful, but I love that you are handling it so well, especially with the emotional eating type of thing. My orthotics can be heat molded, but that requires an oven, so I have to do the slow process. Working on, I would like to lose some lbs, so I'm going to do the 4 things you just mentioned. I need to increase the protein intake for sure. Yes, 100%. And here's the thing. I also like it is one of those things like once I've stopped tracking my protein, I know I'm not eating as much protein as I used to. I know I'm not. And so it's one of those things occasionally, I think twice in the last week and a half, I've said, you know what? I am just going to drink a protein shake. And I busted out a Fairlife protein shake to get that extra 30 grams of protein in there. And I think, and this is also something, Lauren, we can talk about for the members of the Diva district, we have our goal setting chat tomorrow night. And where we're going to talk about, all the goals and all the things. We can talk a little bit about what that might look like because your girl, this gold guy right up here, right? So I got all the colors and then I have like the gold shimmer. This belongs to my health goal for the quarter. This belongs to my health goal because the health goal that was originally planned, the hard work that was originally planned for the health goal really got thrown to the wayside because of all of the stuff that was going on with my husband. And now I think we're feeling a little bit more out of the woods with the whole thing. We don't have all the answers we need now, but we're in a routine, right? So I'm not completely bogged down with all of that stress. So I'm feeling more confident in saying, okay, April is when like this second quarter is when I'm going to be able to put the focus where I want the focus to be. And my primary focus for I'm sitting here brainstorming in real time. Like did y'all just see like the gears turn in my head and the smoke starting to come out of my ears? Did you see that? Because that's what happened. Of fitness, I was thinking of alliteration because my two focuses, my foci, if you will, is the health journey and like the feminine energy vibe journey. That sort of thing. Dare I say the development of the alter ego. I'm reading a book right now called The Alter Ego Effect. Look it up. It is pretty cool. And I'm only like a third of the way into the book, but I love the concept. I love the idea. And I think it is something that many people have benefited from. And I think it's something that many people, including like us normal people, us everyday, not crazy high level business execs or athletes or anything like that, but like normal people can embrace the concept of, I think. And so I think one of the things, hi Kim, one of the things I want to do is kind of develop that alter ego. That alter ego that's kind of going to be the embodiment, that I've been trying to work towards, but kind of tripping and stumbling and failing to work towards, the embodiment of the goal version of myself. I kind of want to like fuse that with the idea of this alter ego type thing. This is not at all what I was planning on talking about tonight, but that's okay. And so I think like that, figuring that whole section of my life out and toying with that and playing with that. It's not like some hard concrete, I have these many steps and this is how I'm going to do it and act. No, 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 no. That's leaning into the masculine energy. And I want to lean into the feminine energy. I want to have fun with this idea. I want to play with this concept. I want to flow. And if it works for me and it feels right, if the vibe feels good, great. And if not, maybe it's not something that I will continue to do, but I love the idea of it. So, the reason that my brain short circuited is because I went femininity and fitness, feminine fitness, and I started to go like find an alliterative title for the two main foci. Foci is the plural of focus, right? For my for my month. So there's that. There's that. Um Another win. I didn't buy the new yellow Owala tumbler that they released, and it's a color drop that is still available. I did a deep dive in the USDA My Place site after the meeting on Saturday, since that's when her it's a lot harder to read the smaller text. That's what her no track plan was based on, and it's a great way to add a bit more structure and nutrition to the IE lifestyle. I looked into it too after you were telling us about it, and I took the test and I got like the master hero level thing. So I was like, helpful but not helpful. I forgot some of my March goals. I think some of them might carry over to April. I like it. Yeah. And that's okay. That's okay. If some of them need to carry over, I have some that it was awful. Today, I sat down this morning because I was having one of those days where like I could not. The energy was not there. My goal was to get up and to get on the elliptical and work out before my healthy meeting. And I had to get up and help my husband drop off his car early this morning. And the energy in the legs, what I have learned about my body is the difference between like you're kind of just tired versus like drained. When I feel drained, my legs feel weak. So it's like the lower half of my body really feels terrible. That's how I can kind of tell the difference between, is it just tired? Is it just procrastination? Is it just lack of focus? Or is it like really truly you need to and that's what it was this morning. Like as I was making my coffee and everything was just literally a drag, right? It just felt like I was dragging myself through things. So I came up here and I was like, what can I do to be productive with my time that's not just constantly stare at the slides of my webinar and, fret about whatever. But instead, I decided to do my goals. And I sat down. I'm like, okay, I'm going to do my goals. And I went to grab my power sheets off the shelf and they weren't there. And it took me 5 minutes to figure out where I put my power sheets. They were right above me over there. But like, I'm like, wait. So it had been so long since I looked at them that I literally forgot where I put them. And I was like, "Oh, that's not that's not okay. Oh dear." So that's what happened to me today. Doo-doo-doo. My high is that I've had a very productive week and I'm taking on a new challenge. That's so exciting, Michelle. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. My low is that I'm spending too much time alone at home. Though I make an effort to go out in social situations, that can be it's one of those things, like, sometimes it feels good until it doesn't, and all of a sudden you're like, "Oh, I really should leave the house. I need to get out. I need to see people." So I hope you do something to proactively make sure that you don't get in that rut of being stuck in the house and letting yourself get too lonely. Grace's high is I spent Sunday at my writer's workshop where I wrote poetry. I didn't know you liked to write poetry, Grace. And enjoyed a great luncheon without stressing about what I was eating. Low as I have not been getting much quality sleep this week. And the wellness win is I bought a walking pad and I'm excited to start using it. That's a great thing to start the quarter with. Oh my gosh, how exciting. I love that for you, Grace. I feel like I have a similar low, not because I'm avoiding people or things, because I'm trying not to spend money. I'm grappling with how to find balance. There's also a section on the site that gives you recommendations for how many servings of each food group. It's definitely a baseline, not a only eat this and nothing more thing. Linda says, hi, Linda. I celebrated my granddaughter's second birthday with family over the weekend. Her actual birthday was last Monday. Low, no low so far. I love when people don't have lows. That's always such an exciting thing. Such an exciting thing. Thank you so much for sharing those, my friends. I love that. Andy found the Q&A box. Doohickey, how do you calculate the correct amount of water? So, there's not a way to calculate a correct amount of water. There's not a way to, oh, wait. I just selected the question. Can you guys see that I'm answering his question? Does that like pop up somewhere for you guys? Because it didn't pop up on my screen, but I want to know if it did pop up somewhere. I'm still learning. Thank you all for being my testers. Yes. Yes, where is it? Is it like in the is it in the chat? Is it on the top of the chat? Cuz I do see it there. Oh, this is so interesting. I like the Q&A feature. It kind of gives me that ability to be like, this is what I'm talking about at the moment. I love that. But y'all got to put the questions in the Q&A feature because what I can't do is do that to Oh, I guess maybe I can. All right, hang on. Hang on. Now we're going to play a game. We're going to play a game. Are you ready for this? Okay. What happens if I'm going to take Lauren's message and pin it? Can you guys see Lauren's message pinned at the top of the chat? I'm going to assume yes. Her message says yep. I'm going to assume yes. But I like the idea of the yes, y'all can see it. That is so cool. Okay. Okay. So I kind of have the ability to do the whole message unpinned. Yes, I unpinned the message. Cool. So I kind of have the ability to do what I was doing in StreamYard a little bit. It's not perfect, but it works. So cool. So if you want your question to be featured at the top of the box when you ask, go into the little Q&A box, which is the blue box at the top of the screen, and ask it over there. So, oh wait, I don't want top chat. Of course, I'm so clunky with technology this week. I tell you what. I tell you what. Um oh, thank you, Lissa, for snapping the pictures. Now I can see what everything looks like. Love it. Okay. So let's chit chat about whatever questions you have. We can turn this into a regular Q&A. I'm happy to do it, but let's talk about um it's second quarter. Like the next time we see each other, it's going to be April. And that is bonkers to me. And so I wanted to kind of rack your guys' brains. I want to hear a little bit about what you guys are thinking about in the coming months. It's first of all, April 1st is a Monday, and love I love that there are so many like first day of the month Monday starts happening this year. I think that's just oh, it's so good. It's so good. So on Monday, we get to wake up to not just a new month, but a new quarter. And I would love to hear about what you guys have set for intentions for the next quarter, the next 90 days. What are some things that you are aspiring to get done, aspiring to achieve? There is a book out there called The 12-Week Year, and I haven't gotten all the way through it yet, but the July 1st is also a Monday. Oh man. So that's awesome. So July 1st too, but October had to ruin it. October what day of the week is October 1st? It's got to be close. It's got to be I feel like it's close to Monday, right? Um Tuesday. Close enough. Close enough. We can start our quarter on the Monday and it's no harm, no foul. So, what a fun year for people who like fresh starts and first days to be on Mondays. What a cool thing. Um, but I would love to hear about what your intentions are for intentions, goals, anything of the like, anything in between for the months for Q2, for Q2. And I bring up the 12-week year because the entire concept of the 12-week year put in real like layman's terms, but the idea is if you focus on a few select things, a few select intentions, a few select goals, and you gave that your all, then you could in theory accomplish what normally would take a year in 12 weeks. So you could literally accomplish 12 weeks worth of whatever the case may be, or a year's worth of progress towards whatever the case may be in 12 weeks. Now, sometimes that's definitely a a stretch. Like, for example, if you're like, I'm going to go on a weight loss journey and see how much weight I can lose in a year, obviously the number at the end of an actual calendar year is going to look different than the number at the end of 12 weeks if you remain consistent beyond the 12-week period of time. But that's a story for another day. But it's really, oh gosh, I keep having my 7:30 alarm to take my sleepy capsule go off, and then I'm always not available at 7:30 to do it. Every single day, it's something different. I tell you what, max low, I called a support group I've been a part of. You called or got rid of. A support group for 2 or 3 people repeatedly told me to be silent. I'm a bit of withdrawal and trying to figure out where to get support. Social media sucks. Social media is hard. Social media is very hard. And uh cancel. Thank you. Thank you again. Brain not processing. The brain has been doing a lot of processing lately. I literally woke up in the middle of the night, I think it was Saturday, just like from sheer anxiety, like wide awake, and I'm like, why am I so anxious? Oh my goodness. And I had to talk myself off of a ledge to go back to sleep. So it's just kind of been the brain worrying of all of these things. So my brain, all I have to do tomorrow, there's no healthy meeting tomorrow. All I have to do, the only thing on my to do list tomorrow is meet with my Diva district members at 7 p.m. And I am so thankful that that's the only thing on my list tomorrow. I'm so thankful. You canceled your membership. Okay. Yes, social media sucks. Social media is hard. Social media and the internet in general requires such a thick skin, and it shouldn't be necessary, but unfortunately it is necessary. And try as we might, sometimes people can just get to us. And people can be mean and people can be bullies. And sometimes differing opinions we aren't affected by, and sometimes we are. And it's such a hard thing. My main social outlet is through the synagogue. I'm supporting programming and getting to work with some really great people. I also attend services on Saturdays and socialize after. Hi, as I recognized the situation was not good until so I left. That's an amazing high. You did what was right for you, and I think that is so important. Truly, that's so important to be able to acknowledge that, like, hey, this thing is not for me. This thing is not good for me. I've left groups because they're just not good for me, and I also ignore, I also mute, I also restrict accounts. I do all of those things because at the end of the day, I'm like, this is no good for me. Um, the block button, also one of my favorite buttons. I had an appearance of somebody who has a tendency to badmouth certain individuals in a certain group of people. And for whatever reason, this individual, after weeks and weeks and weeks of nothing, popped up on a comment on my Facebook page of all places, probably because I have them blocked on Instagram. And I sat there for a moment and I looked at it and I was like, are you freaking kidding me? And then without a second thought, I was like, you know what? No. And I almost responded. My 8 wing almost came out and I almost wanted to poke back. I did want to poke back, but I was like, you know what? No, I'm not going to give this person the satisfaction. And all I didn't even say, I didn't even comment back. I don't know if they have any idea that I blocked them or not, but I blocked them and it was lovely. And I was like, you know what? And it's done. And this person is no longer has access to me anywhere on the internet anymore. And I love that for me. I love that for me. Sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. Oh, good gravy. I can't click on this. Somebody comment so I can get rid of that other comment, please. Thank you very much. Okay, we are not. Oh, thank you, Lissa. Thank you for taking care of that because we are definitely, you all do you. I am pro vaccine. So that has no business being here. Thank you for that. So, for the goals, for the refresh. I took a picture today of the page. The heart was in the way. Yes, and mine isn't even a heart. It's a pull-up menu that currently has nothing in it. Oh, it does have icons. I just can't see them. I don't know what that's about. That's really annoying. That's really annoying. I guess technically I could have clicked, yeah, I could have clicked on the I think put user in timeout, hide user on this channel. I don't know if I could do anything about the actual comment. See, we're learning technology. Oh yeah. So you don't have to click on the three dots. Hey, there you go. Now you know. You can just click on the comment and the menu pops up. So whew, crisis averted, y'all. Crisis averted. But spring is coming. April 1st is coming. I do not celebrate April Fool's Day. So anything I post on April Fool's Day will not be April Fools. But that's good to know. Yeah. I was just thinking that Sunday was the anniversary of our favorite troll visiting. Is it really? You have that written in your calendar? Sunday's Oregano Day? It's so funny because I kind of think it every time. For those of you that don't know, we had a troll come into a chat once who tried, I hesitate to even say it, they tried to tout oregano in water. So, like oregano tea as a primary diet thing. And then they said something that was so incredibly, is racist to the right term? I don't know. It was awful. And I was like, oh, heck no. But the fact that they came into my chat and the first thing they're like, you know how I lose weight? I don't eat anything and I drink a lot of oregano tea. We're like, what? What? What kind of advice is that? Stop that. And so now we have oregano. Like we call whenever a troll comes in, someone will say, "Oh, it's an oregano. Oh, it's oregano." And so the haters are called the spice rack. The haters are called the spice rack, and this channel is gone. Goodbye. Um, and so yes, so that's why we call whenever someone's talking about oregano popping in, that's what we mean. And so apparently oregano's anniversary is on Sunday. So I'm glad for you in your synagogue. I find myself in a faith crisis. Oh no. And I hate that for me and strive to overcome that. Racist, anti-Semitic. That's the term I was looking for. Thank you. Anti-Semitic. She was a character. It was bad. It was bad. We don't know if it was actually a she or a he. We don't know. We don't know. But they were not welcome here anymore. Um, oh, lovely, Julie. Y'all, I love you. I adore you. But please live your lives. Make that a first priority. And if hubby wants to take you out on an impromptu date night, you do it. You do it. I will always be here on another week, and that's totally fine. Fantastic. Love that for you. My husband did that to me not last week, but I think the week before. Why is this person still here? I thought I blocked them. Oh, put user in timeout. Get rid 24 hours. There we go. I'm trying, y'all. We're trying. I don't understand. I don't understand. What is it about this? You did that too? Seriously? Oh, good grief. Good grief. Well, it's just a spice rack kind of day in the chat, my friends. It's just a spice rack day in kind of the chat, inside of the chat, and your girl can't speak. Your girl can't speak. So, before we get any more oregano, let's chit chat about our goals, or if y'all have any questions for me. Let's see. Let's see. Nobody has any other questions for me except for Andy and his water. Oh, Andy, I never actually answered your question. So I got distracted by the fact that I could pin your question and I never actually answered your question. So, how do you calculate the correct amount of water? There are a couple of theories, there are a couple of guidelines, suggestions. There is no perfect way. There's no perfect way to calculate the perfect amount of water for you, okay? The general guideline that is frequently used is half of your body weight in ounces of water. So if you weigh 200 pounds, the guideline is drink 100 ounces of water, okay? Do you probably need more than a gallon of water in a day? So if you're somebody who's of a bigger stature and half of your body weight equals more than 128, do you need more than a gallon of water? I don't know. Here's the thing. Your body will tell you if it is hydrated or dehydrated, and all you have to do is look at the color of your pee. That's all you have to do. If it is like apple juice colored, you need more water. You kind of are shooting for like lemonade shade, like a light pale yellow. Okay. Now, don't get confused because the shades of yellow, and I haven't researched into this as much. Just so you know. But in my own personal experience, the shades of yellow can vary based on what you have put in your body. So, for example, my output tends to be of the lighter, more transparent, but apple juice colored, but like lighter. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, still like adequately hydrated when I don't take my vitamins and supplements. When I do, when I pop that vitamin B12, I've got like a neon yellow thing going on here. Okay? So the things you put in your body, especially supplements and vitamins, can and will change the color of your pee. So keep that in mind. So what we're looking for here is not necessarily a bright neon yellow, right? So like you can't just like take vitamin B12 and call that hydration because things are going to look a little bit more bright. No, that's not what I'm saying. Think opacity, okay? Think opacity. You want it to be pale because it's diluted with water, okay? So your body will tell you. Your body will tell you. There are days and also like when you're thirsty, you need to drink, right? When you're thirsty, you need to drink. And I'm thirsty. So there's that. Yeah, and there's also a medication or two or three that will make your pee like bright orange, which if you're not expecting it, it's kind of terrifying the first time you see it. Um but yeah, so I does that kind of answer your question? Look at your body's output and see how you're doing. That your body will tell you. It's funny, but like our body tells us our health. We are also told as women to look at our cycles and the way our cycle acts and the way our cycle looks can tell you a lot about the health of your hormones in your cycle. So, and that's a whole, we can get into a whole thing about that. But I do pay attention and go, oh, things must be going the way they're supposed to be going. Fantastic. Your body tells you if you're willing to listen. So I hope that actually answered your close the question. Close the question. Hey, it worked. Look at that. Okay. I am learning. I'm learning. Fantastic. Okay. I wish there was an easier way to switch back and forth, though. It's not as bad as that Saturday when I almost needed backup. Yeah, there was one day, I don't remember when it was. One day we had like, poor Alyssa was working overtime as my admin. I tell you what, it was rough. My goals for this quarter, Max says, find at least one thing to be grateful for daily, return to the basics of hunger and fullness, and act as if I am on my friends list. I want details on that. Act as if you're on your friends list. What does that mean? I would love to hear more if you're willing to share, or you can talk a goal setting chat tomorrow night too. This is Mac. When I'm on YouTube, I'm signed in under my professional account. Yes, bicycles. What about bicycles? I didn't say anything about bicycles, but those are great. Those are great goals. So like I said, some of the stuff that I'm toying with my little gold flag. So these are my refreshed goals for I almost said semester. What? When have I ever said semester? For the quarter, I've got whatever I need to come up with a fun and fabulous name for like just kicking my health goals in the booty for this quarter. I would love to come up with something super clever. I want to lean into the concept of an alter ego. I want to lean into more of this feminine energy stuff. And I also want to so I'm having let's talk real life for a second because y'all are my people. But first I want to see what Max said. Act as if I'm on my friends like means like I treat my friends really well, love on them, great compassion, yet I don't treat myself as well. I want to focus on that. Yes, 110% yes. And that's what I thought you meant, but I just wanted to hear it from you so I didn't misconstrue what you said. 100% yes. I agree with that. Michelle didn't realize that was Mac. Oh, that's funny. So shoot, what was I saying? Oh, so let me be honest. Let me be real. I'm still, and I have this every once in a while, but like really truly I'm having a rough like YouTube identity crisis, if that's what you want to call it. And it's such a hard thing, kind of, but also not kind of, because I'm sitting here going, like, people clearly are so much less interested in the idea of food freedom and the information behind food freedom than they were. Like, y'all, if I post a video that says something about tracking Weight Watcher, what I eat in a day on Weight Watchers, I guarantee you, if I said something like that or Points Plus and I posted it tomorrow, I would get 15 times the views. I guarantee you. I guarantee you. Some people would just be curious about like why I posted something like that, but that's not the point. That's what people are interested in. And so I'm trying to decide what, like, if I had the power, and this is actually a question that I would love to ask y'all. If I had the power, if you had the power, if we had the power to turn Diva and the Divine into any topic or any type of channel, any channel. There's no wrong answer here. I mean, there is, but I'm going to assume you guys aren't going to like throw out answers that I'd really be like, of course not, obviously. Um, what would you turn it into? Because I sit here and I go, you know, it would be really interesting to like kind of turn my channel into like truly I'm a child-free housewife channel. Especially leaning into the idea of the feminine energy. Then there's like the feminine energy concept as a whole, and like that whole like glow up type situation that's available. And so this is how I'm like I go back and forth between Hogwarts. I'm not quite sure what Andy is talking about, but of course, it could be a Harry Potter channel. Not really. But wouldn't that be fun? Wouldn't that be fun? There are channels out there that are literally just Harry Potter related channels, and I'm like, "Oh, that would be so fun," but I don't have the level of commitment to do that. But, like, it's one of those things that I'm like, "What if I could do anything with it, what would I do? What would I do?" And that's kind of just like the identity crisis that I've been in for a while now. As I've been cranking out all of my batched content and everything, putting it all out because I filmed it and I edited it and I want it to be out there and it's solid content. But I'm like, what would be more interesting? What would be more interesting? Like, honestly, I'm asking, hate the haters. Oh, my friend, I do. I do. Well, no, I don't hate them. I actually pray for them. I don't hate them. I ignore them. I block them, but I don't hate them. But I'm, it's just such an interesting thing that I'm like, and of course, I have the power to do whatever the heck I want. And I can integrate, I can have 5 different pillars. That's not the point. But like, and I plan on having 5 pillars, but I'm just, the thing that's always going through my brain is like, what do I want? What do I want this to be? What do I want it to be? What is the reason people come to me on YouTube? What would make them want to come to me? And I'm just curious of your opinions. Again, there's no wrong answers, especially from this group, because y'all are my people. I'm just curious. Now I feel bad because I haven't watched your last video, but it has nothing to do with your channel. Oh no, I'm not worried about you, Lisa. Food freedom is not what the masses want right now. No, it is. It is so truly not what the masses want. You are very, very right. It is so not what the masses want. And it's so unfortunate. It's so unfortunate. Lori, I think I called you out last time. I did like a Q&A thing or a overrated, underrated, favorite, least favorite. And Lori's response was not Harry Potter. Lori, you gotta read them. You gotta join the club, man. Um, I finally got my husband to do it after years and years and years. We finally, with all of our road tripping that we've done since the pandemic, we finally listened to all the audiobooks and he loved them. He loved them, but it was something he was never going to sit down and do for himself, you know? But all of Mac's comment, food freedom is not what the masses want right now. They want to be skinny at any cost. Nearly dying for skinny is ultimately what caused me to seek food freedom, but the masses are not ready. It's the truth. It's the truth. And it makes me, yeah, yeah. No, you're absolutely right. And that's the part that gets me. Not the marketing part, not that there's no money in it part, but I I'm in a weird space where like I want people to care about what I put out. But the problem is the thing that I currently care about is not what people care about. It's not. So then I sat there and it's not that I don't I don't want to continue to put out this kind of content. But there's also so many other subsets of me, right? Like coach is just one little piece of what I do. Itty bitty. And there are days, literally days, and this is a very feminine energy thing when I learned about like women are, oh gosh, did I read you guys this quote? Was this, where did I share this? Where is it? Did I share this last week? Um, but one of the things I quoted from the book that I read that I loved called The Queen's Code was, as a woman, I can task from dawn till dusk with no consequence if I have no deadline. But accountability requires testosterone. While we can obviously be accountable, over time it exhausts women. And that paragraph, that statement, literally, I felt so seen. I felt so seen in that statement because I am the girl that if I have nothing, like tomorrow, I have one thing on my to-do list and I don't have anything else, no joke. I don't think, other than getting my liver ultrasounded on Friday morning, but like it's Easter weekend, but I don't have any work related commitments, meaning Diva and the Divine related commitments until Wednesday of next week, almost a week. And if that means that I can do whatever the heck I want, I can get so much done. I can blitz clean the house, organize the linen closet, cook for days, bake all of the things, do all these things, and just flow, just flow. And I'm good at it. And then there's weeks like this week where I was cranking, I put together like a 50 something slide webinar. And that's the thing that was causing me anxiety, and all of the back end of like getting the course page, all of this stuff, which, oh, sidebar, by the way, y'all, my course has launched. It is live. If you want to check out the sales page that I worked the entire day Monday on, it's in the link down below. Check it out just to see what I worked on. Because I put a lot of work into this sales page. Oh my word. Um, and that's exactly the accountable thing that they were talking about. Accountability takes testosterone. And I was accountable to the deadlines that I gave myself. Yes, but like the deadlines, and I'm freaking exhausted. And I can feel just like the anxiety is the only term I have for it. Even though like it's nothing that really makes me anxious. I have no problem presenting in front of people. Obviously, I'm right here, right? And it's just one of those things like, but I'm beat. I'm beat. And so, all of that to say, circling back to the topic, I love doing the home type stuff, doing the traditional wife. They call it trad wife now. That's the trending term for domestic goddess extraordinaire, aka housewife right now. Like trad wife is what they're calling what people who have the traditional husband and wife uh, setup. Not the word I was looking for, but it's the word I can come up with. Dynamic. And I'm like, is there a market for that? Like what's the market for? What is the part of my life that would be most interesting to put on the internet right now? And throw in the food freedom stuff because that's obviously what I'm doing and I need to get that message out there because the world needs to hear it. They don't like it, they don't want it, but they need to hear it. So it's just one of those things that like, this is my internal struggle right now, y'all. Um, you never know. I've read 3 books since February. I haven't finished a real book in several years. Do it, Lori. Do it. I saw someone at work wearing a bluey Harry Potter shirt where the bluey characters were dressed as the house mascots, and the Ravenclaw was actually an eagle with a blue and bronze scarf. Nice. Lifestyle channel, Grace says. I like a variety, a bit of everything: health and wellness, books, household stuff, cooking, spirituality. I personally love declutters. Yeah. And so that's kind of where I was going. Like, this is my life. This is, like, I don't know. Um, I binge watch 1 to 8 films because I can. Absolutely. Absolutely. I love a good, like, let's just watch all the Harry Potter stuff. Harry Potter is just a mood and it makes me so happy. There are people who care about what you put out, and You have found your niche and you are speaking to it. The struggle is marketing it. By the way, I'm a digital marketer and social media marketer. Yes, marketing it is a beast. And you are building your niche market organically, which is building deep versus wide, which is smart. You will get there. You are there. Also, the influencer marketing just got hit badly with the whole Ruby Frankie thing. Yeah, it's it's tough out there right now. It's it's tough out there right now. I tell you what. I agree. I like the variety. And what I love about y'all, cuz it's y'all. It's always y'all. I'm speaking to the group that's here live or the group that's watching me on replay because I have this group of people that God love you. You watch whatever I put out. And I love that about you. And it does make me feel like I have found not even my niche, but my people, which is amazing. I love that. I love that. And like I can talk about people I encounter in this group. And like, for example, I'm going to use Lissa as the example, but like when I say Lissa, my husband knows who I'm talking about because she's been a member of the community. So like the community in and of itself is a community. It is just that. And I love that. Um, but I just wanted to be totally transparent, not at all where I was going with this, but it felt appropriate with the goal setting stuff of like it's feeling like it's getting very focused on my personal growth and development and change as opposed to business growth and development and change. And so working on this is going to directly impact this in some way. And I was just curious your thoughts about this element of it. I will look up in Emily's closet and see if the books are still there. Not people, family. Oh, Andy, you're so sweet. Um, maybe about being a non-traditional trad wife. You do way more than run your household and take care of your husband. You are a businesswoman and have interests and hobbies of your own. And that's also where I get hung up because trad wife is trending, right? So like I'm like, oh, technically speaking. And here's the reality about my home situation, right? I could tomorrow if I decided that I'm just like I don't want to YouTube, I don't want to do any of it anymore. I could shut her down and I could be fully trad wife, running the household, doing all the cooking, doing all the cleaning, doing all of the whatever. Like I have that option. I could do that. But I also just love the balance. Like then you know what? Like non trad wife is really like that hit the nail on the head, Grace. Honestly, it did. Because there is like literally half, maybe even 60% of my persona is the homemaker type individual. You would be bored to tears. You're absolutely right. I would be. I would be bored to tears. Or I would be way too invested. I'm already way too invested. I didn't even bring this topic up, and it was something that I wanted to tell you all. Did I tell you that I started rewatching Grey's Anatomy? I think I told you that last week. I'm freaking obsessed. I'm obsessed. And like I've technically seen all of the episodes I've seen so far, and I am obsessed. So you're right. I would get so bored to tears that I would either do something crazy. I would do something completely crazy, or I would end up like just binge watching TV for half of the day and then lose my focus and just it would all go to crap. So I can't do that. This is a great outlet for me, and it was a great outlet for me since the dawn of this channel's time. And so it's a real interesting situation to be in. It's a real interesting place to be. Um, but I love all of the feedback that you guys have given. It's actually very, very helpful to me. How about how about a thought for the day? Andy asks in his um thing. Hang on, how do I select my question? So here's my thought for the day. And this was actually my thought for the day yesterday. Do you know how I talked about um a common thing with ADHD, I don't know if it's just women or if it's also men, but food hyperfixations. Remember how we talked about food hyperfixations and how when the member of small group who also has ADHD told me about her pattern with food hyperfixations, I was like, "Wait, that's an ADHD symptom?" I didn't know that because I do that. I have food hyperfixations. Well, I realized yesterday that I also and I don't know if this is standard operating procedure or if it's because I have a musical background. I have song hyperfixations. I get so deeply invested in 1 or 2 songs, and I play them on repeat, and repeat, and repeat, and repeat. And you know what songs? Do you know what songs I've been playing on repeat for the last 2 days? Do you know that? And then, of course, because of my musical brain, I can't stop singing them either. They're there even when the thing is not playing. And then it will haunt me for a couple of days, maybe even a week, maybe even 2 weeks, and then it'll be gone and I won't think of the song again for months. And the songs that I'm currently hyper fixated on, I don't think you can find anywhere on Spotify or anything like that. Even though I'm not there in my rewatch of Grey's Anatomy, I thought of yesterday when I was watching Grey's Anatomy because Callie has showed up, who's played by Sarah Ramirez. I thought of the Grey's Anatomy musical episode. I don't know if y'all knew that there was a Grey's Anatomy musical episode. Back when that aired, before Spotify existed, okay? They released an EP, the album of the songs recorded for the Grey's Anatomy musical episode. And your girl must have purchased the CD. I must have purchased the album on my computer because um, there's a Spotify playlist, but I looked at some of the playlists and I couldn't find the actual recordings where the actors were singing. I saw different versions of the songs, but like one of the songs is Chasing Cars, which is originally by I was going to say Owl City, but I don't think that's right. But Chasing Cars. And there were a bunch of other versions of Chasing Cars, but the one that I have wasn't on there. I couldn't find it. If someone else finds it, please send it my way because I would love to have it on my Spotify playlist. So I have it. I was hoping that I would, but I have it in my Apple Music. So I still have it on my computer. I just can't put it in like with my Spotify stuff. I have been listening to Chasing Cars and Sarah Ramirez killing, slaying, doing it better than the original artist, The Story. Those are the 2 songs I've been playing on repeat. The whole day that I was doing stuff, The Story. Yeah, exactly. I'm almost positive. Maybe I'll go look after this and I'll post it on Instagram if I find it. I think I think back when it came out, I went and downloaded the sheet music of the story in the key that she was singing it in because I just thought it was banging. It's so good. And there is an EP of Sarah Ramirez singing the story on Spotify. She's stupid talented. She's stupid talented. I don't think she sings anymore. I don't She's currently Che in I'm sorry. They're they now. My bad. I'm picturing Callie, and Callie it's very much a she. They are on the Sex and the City reboot, and just like that, as a non-binary character. But I don't think Sarah Ramirez has done any singing. She's on the original Broadway cast album of Spamalot as the Diva. Fun fact about me, I did the Diva's Lament as one of my songs in my senior recital. So I've been the diva for quite some time now. And then she has like a couple of singles out and The Story is one of them. It's so good. It's so good. So I've been hyper fixating on songs. And that's a habit I have. I will get on like Megan Trainor's new album. 3 songs of Megan Trainor's new album, maybe 4, I listened to constantly. So much so that my Spotify Wrapped for the year, literally like the top 5 or 6 was all Megan Trainor. All Megan Trainor. The year before that, it was all Ed Sheeran and one Broadway album because I hyper fixated on that one album too. Like, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm a song hyper fixator. More than a food hyper fixator, I'm a song hyper fixator. And I don't know if that's an ADHD symptom or not, but it's one of the things I do. And then my brain just I think about the song constantly. I'm singing it in my head constantly. And it's crazy. It's crazy. Anyway, that's my thought for the day. Thank you for asking, Andy. Um, Food hyperfixations get me in trouble because I stock up on foods and then suddenly get sick of them and then they're there for weeks. Yep, that's what happens to me too. Um, Also on YouTube, the story, Spotify link. So I found myself for hours watching videos of people being videoed watching certain Grey's episodes for the first time. 007 Buzz Victor. I'm not ready. I know it's coming and I'm not ready. I'm seasons away from it, but I know it's coming. And I'm sad about it because I'm watching 007 and enjoying that individual. And yeah. Yeah. I also have seen on TikTok, or I saw TikTok videos. There's somebody who's filming his wife reading the Harry Potter series for the first time. It's really cute and really sad and really funny because he films when she's getting to like the deaths of certain characters and she's heartbroken. She's just utterly crushed. And I was like, we've all been there, honey. We've all been there. Um, they're always like, what the, because they were watching. Yep, even with the context, it's not much better. It's Grey's is a journey. I don't want to give any spoilers, but I stopped watching Grey's around um 2012, 2013 is when I stopped 2013, let's say, is when I stopped watching it regularly. I but the double O I've seen I mean I know the 007 plot hole or plot. I know what happens. I know a lot of a lot of characters that cease to exist in the Grey's Anatomy world. I know a lot of them. I know a handful of them that I have not seen the first time around. I know I don't want to spoil it for anybody that cares. I don't know. Of the group of you that's here, do you even care? Do you like who's up to date? Who cares if I spoil something for them? Because I'll say what I know if I don't think I'm going to spoil it for anybody. But I don't want to spoil it for people who are actually planning on watching the show. Um so and I know Mac is talking about it. So are y'all up to date? Are y'all up to date? Station 19 private practice in order. Well, I don't even remember what Station 19 is. I know private practice. I've seen private practice. But I haven't seen I'm up to date. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. If you are somebody who doesn't want to have any Grey's Anatomy spoilers, leave now. Okay? Whether you're watching the replay, whether you're watching this, leave now. Here is what I know. I stopped watching shortly after Mark Sloan died. Okay? Um, that is around the time that my husband got engaged, I think, or we were dating at the time. I remember because he was in town the night that I watched that episode that, that we found out he died. And yeah, so he was there. So I have that memory. So I stopped watching shortly after Mark Sloan died. I just got distracted, got, wedding planning, all of those things, whatever. I know that McDreamy dies. And that makes me sad. That makes me very, very sad. But I know that he dies. I think those are the two, like that's where I ended. So everything before Mark Sloan, I've seen. I might not remember all of the details, but I keep going through like as characters are getting introduced, I go, they're not there anymore. They're not here anymore. They're not here anymore. So yeah, so I know about 007. I know about George. Um, and it kills me. It kills me. And I know a spoiler. I don't know all of the details, but I know a spoiler about Alex as well. I don't remember all of the details, but I know that something happened and I read a little something about what the situation was that gets him to leave or something. I don't know. So I have a lot of the spoilers, but I'm still enjoying the journey. I'm riding the wave. Um so that's where I'm at with that. But the musical episode, just I loved it. There are some episodes that I need a trigger warning before and didn't get, then needed to take the next day off work. That's fair. There's some heavy stuff in there. And then there's also for the hypochondriacs in us or the hypochondriacs we know, you watch a medical episode and you go, oh, is that what's wrong with me? And they're like dying on the table and it's like, no, it's not what's wrong with you. Stop letting the medical dramas diagnose your symptoms. Um, yeah. Yeah, so there's that, my friends, there's that. That's where I'm at, and so I'm currently sitting in season 3, I think I'm at episode 8 or 9 right now is where I am. So, because 'cause I've been that's what I'm watching when I'm playing with Gracie or whatever, or, like, when I've been editing things and doing my sales page from yesterday or Monday, I had my iPad here and I was watching Grey's Anatomy while I was doing it. So, that's what I've been doing. That's what I've been enjoying. I've been loving it. I should have never stopped. I should have never stopped, honestly. I love it. So that's what's going on with that. About the local fire station, there's a lot of crossover with the more recent seasons, and you miss a lot if you only watch Grey's at that point. That's good to know. I just need to find out when they start crossing over. Um, with private practice, there's a little crossover. I remember there being a little bit of crossover, but not much. But it doesn't impact the plot. Yeah, and I will probably rewatch private practice as well because I do enjoy Addison Montgomery. I do enjoy her. So there's that. And she's still on Grace for me right now, but I don't think she's going to be much longer. So there's that. All right, friends. Thank you for indulging me in that whole thing. I appreciate you listening. I appreciate you giving me your feedback. I appreciate you having Grey's Anatomy conversations with me and everything in between. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Next week, live stream is at 3 p.m. because my final webinar is going to be at 7 p.m. So, tomorrow or next week in the afternoon is when you will get to see my shining face on the internet. Everybody have a great week. As Lori says, happy Easter to everybody who celebrates Easter. I'm unsure if there are any other holidays happening currently, but if you celebrate Easter, happy Easter. I will talk to you all later. Have a great rest of your week. Bye, guys.